Hello, welcome to a new series where we'll be exploring leagues outside of the major European leagues. As I explained in episode 6 of the Football Betting Tips and Strategies series, more value can be found in these lesser known leagues. So the purpose of this video is to provide a foundation to build knowledge in these lesser known leagues. In today's episode, we'll be exploring Serie B. Serie B is the second highest division in the Italian Football League system after the Serie A. It has been operating for over 90 years since the 1929-1930 season. So let's talk about the format. During the regular season, each team plays 38 games, 2 games against each opponent. In the Italian football system, a true round-robin format is used. So in the first half of the season, each team will play their opponent once. And then in the second half of the season, each team will play their opponent in the same order that they played against in the first half of the season. Of course, with the home and away fixtures being switched. The regular season typically runs from September, October, all the way through to May. Now, this is typical with most European leagues. Something to think about as well is the game times. So I really like to follow leagues where I can have a good spread of games across the weekend. So often you see, so many games concentrated around 3 p.m. UK time. You've got the Premier League, Championship, also some crossover from the Bundesliga, which starts at 2:30 UK time. And the problem with that is you can often get distracted with so much choice, and that really kind of messes with your analysis when you're trying to focus in on 1 or 2 games, but you've got the option of 30 or 40 games going on at the same time. So Italy's Serie B is good in this respect, with 1 or 2 games on a Friday night or a Monday night, then about 4 games on Saturdays at around 1 p.m. UK time, another game 3:15, and then a further game on Saturday at around 5:30. Then on Sundays, you also have 3 games, typically spread over the course of the day. So, like I said, in Serie B, you get a good coverage of games across the weekend so that you can really focus your analysis on 1 or 2 games at a time in play. Each year in Serie B, 3 teams are promoted to Serie A and 4 teams are relegated to Serie C. However, promotion is not as simple as the top 3 teams getting automatic qualification. Only the top 2 teams can gain automatic promotion, whilst the teams placed in 3rd to 8th actually enter a playoff tournament for the last spot. This is good for us bettors because it ensures that teams have something to play for right up until the end of the season so that our betting analysis can remain consistent. Sometimes in leagues like the English Premier League, once a team has avoided relegation, they can often be accused of going on holiday early and not putting 100% effort into their games. This can cause issues. For example, based on our analysis, if a team is expected to beat worse opposition, but the opposition is facing relegation, they will have more motivation to win the game and often do so, especially towards the end of the season. So, the good thing with Serie B is that this effect is minimized by the prospect of teams even in 10th or 11th place having the chance to secure promotion via the playoffs. So, why do I like to bet in this league? Apart from some of the factors that I've already mentioned earlier in this video, one thing is that there is a fairly clear home advantage. Here you'll see the percentage of home wins over the course of a season from the current season all the way back to the 2017-2018 season. And what we see here is a fairly consistent pattern that there is a strong home advantage, which typically ranges, and kind of solidifies around the 45% area. Now, you'll see there one that does stick out, 2020 to 2021. Of course, that was a season impacted by that which we won't mention, but you'll see there, without the fans in the crowd, there was a significant dip in the number of home wins, going down to 38%. Also, just to note, at the time of this video, we're fairly early in the season of 2021-2022, so we expect that 60% number to come down to the average of around 45%. So with that fairly strong home advantage that exists in Serie B, that does mean that if a favourite is at home, that the odds offered are usually bad value. But if the favourite is losing in a particular game and they're playing at home, if you can jump in at the right time in the second half, depending on the flow of the game, you can get much better value by backing the home team to get a goal and get the draw. Another thing I like about this league is that when the favourite is actually based away from home for the upcoming game, you can also get good odds, which you can't find so much in the major European leagues. Let's take this quick example from the last season. Manchester City, a title favourite in the Premier League last year, who went on to win the league. These are the odds where they played away from home. Now, if we strip out their odds against other top 6 opposition and only limit it to medium or weaker teams, what we'll see there is that the odds on offer are just not worth the risk. Of course, Manchester City are going to win most of their games, but like I've covered in the betting tips and strategy series, it's just not worth taking the risk that for those odds that they won't lose that game. On the other hand, in Serie B, a good team like Empoli, which has often switched between Serie A and Serie B and who actually won the league last year, you could get very good odds on them to win away from home. And unlike the strong home advantage of the league, Empoli actually managed to record 8 wins away from home in 19 games, so a very respectable 47%. So the thing that I like about this league is you can actually back strong teams away from home, because backing them away from home is much more valuable in Serie B than it is in the Premier League or other European leagues, for example. We also get a good distribution of goals in the second half, which is especially good for in-play bettors like myself, who focus on the second half of games predicting a scoring outcome. For example, if the favourite is losing 1-0 and we bet on the draw, we want a scoring outcome. We want the favourite to score a goal in the second half. Typically, there are around 2 to 3 goals a game as the most common number of total goals scored in a game. And this is generally around the average of most leagues around the world. But this is a good thing because we don't want a league where goals aren't scored enough, because we typically bet on scoring outcomes. But also we don't want the unpredictability of leagues where too many goals could be scored in the typical game. And the last thing that I really like about Serie B is that you can actually watch the games live on most betting sites. As long as you've got 1 unit of currency in your account, you're free to watch all the games live. And I find it so important to be able to actually watch the games live, because you get a much better understanding for the flow of the game rather than just tracking statistics. That's the roundup of the Serie B. I hope you guys have found that useful. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to analyze and bring you more leagues. Please like and subscribe. As always, we're going for that 1,000 target by the end of the year. And until next time, goodbye.